Hare Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Candramauli Swami daily class. And today Maharaj will give class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4 and verse 7. So this chapter is the process of creation. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So with your permission, Maharaj, I will share the screen. Over to you, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yata gopayati vibhur yatra samyachyate punaha yam yag shaktim upasritya guru shaktim parapumam atmanam kridayam kridan karoti vikaroti cha. Kindly describe how the Supreme Lord, who is all-powerful, engages his different energies and different expansions in maintaining and again winding up the phenomenal world in the sporting spirit of a player. Purport. In the Katha Upanishads 2:13, the Supreme Lord is described as the chief eternalum, being amongst all of the eternal individual beings. Nityo, Nityanam, Chaitanas, Chaitananam. And the one Supreme Lord who maintains innumerable other individual living beings. Eko Bahudam Yo Vidadati Kaman. So all living entities, both in the conditioned state and in the liberated state, are maintained by the Almighty Supreme Lord. Such maintenance is effected by the Lord through his different expansions of self and three principal energies, namely internal, external, and marginal energies. The living entities are his marginal energies, and some of them, in the confidence of the Lord, are entrusted with the work of creation also, as are Brahma, Marichi, etc. The acts of creation are inspired by the Lord unto them, Tene Brahmarida. The external energy Maya is also impregnated with the jivas of conditioned souls. The unconditional marginal potency acts in the spiritual kingdom and in the Lord by his different planetary expansions, maintains them in different transcendental relationships displayed in the spiritual sky. So the one Supreme Lord manifests himself in many, Bahusham Sham, and all our diversities are in him, and he is in all the diversity, although he's nevertheless different from all of them. This is the inconceivable mystic power of the Lord, and as such, everything is simultaneously one with and different from him by his inconceivable potencies of Chintya Beta Beta Tattva. Umagyantimirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chakshunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Panchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Titanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All of existence, both material and spiritual, are manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He works through his different energies to fulfill all his desires, both on the spiritual platform and on the material platform. He is one, but he manifests himself as many. In the many, he carries out different functions, both in the spiritual and material worlds. Ultimately, everything is coming from him and from the absolute principle of reality, everything is him. But along with that everything is him principle, there's another aspect to that same principle where everything is not him simultaneously. So this is the inconceivable nature of the Lord, how he is one with and different from all of him, all of existence and his creation at the same time. He is an individual, but by his own manifestation of unlimited power, he expands himself into himself for the sake of creation and for the sake of the varieties of activities that come within the spiritual world. So this absolute principle is the supreme principle of reality. Everything within our purview of both control and perception is his energy. Nothing happens that is not connected with him, either directly or indirectly. Indirectly through his energies and directly through his parashakti, or his supreme spiritual potency. The scriptures say, Parasya Shakti Vidhaya Suyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. When he wants something to happen, or if he wants to expand himself into himself in different forms, all he has to do is the desire. And by his desire, he moves everything into existence. He maintains everything through his desire. And when he wants to wind up everything, simply by his desire, all of the activities work perfectly under his control. So nothing is separate from the Lord. Separateness is the consciousness of the materialist. What is that consciousness? Well, there is God, and then there is God creation. Sometimes there is a philosophy, they say God has nothing to do with his creation. But actually, he's there within the creation through his energies. But in one sense, there is some reality to that statement, or some correctness, in that in the material aspect, he works through his energies. And he has the three energies, of course, spiritual, mirror, material, and marginal. But in the material energy, the marginal energy is the living entities, and the material energy is the three modes of material nature. He also says that these modes are created by me, and they're working under my direction. Maya dakshena prakriti suyate sachiracharam. One who knows this actually knows everything. There's nothing outside the Lord. We may have different desires, and we try to perform activities to fulfill those desires. But we should also know that the ingredients and the desire itself are also initiated by the Supreme Lord through his different energies. In other words, if Krishna doesn't want something to happen and you want something to happen, it won't happen. Of course, he usually allows the material energy to work according to its prescribed arrangement. So he doesn't interfere with the material energy. That's why sometimes people blame Krishna for not being, diligent enough to stop all of the difficulties in the world. But he doesn't touch the material energy. He allows the material energy to work according to its nature, just like the state will set up the prison house. The prison house has its own management, but it's created by the state. The state might intervene once in a while to see how the prison house is going, but those who are directors of the prison house, they are empowered by the state to do the work. So the three modes of material nature are controlled by the three main deities: Brahma for creation, himself in the form of Vishnu for maintenance, and Lord Shiva for destruction. So this is carried out automatically, and Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, stays aloof from all of these activities. When does he get involved directly with the material energy? That is when the living entities in the material energy take to devotional service. Then he acts to give protection, direction, and upliftment to the conditioned souls who are struggling in the material energy. Otherwise, the material energy has its own arrangement, and it's very powerful. It says that the material energy is like a shadow reflection of the reality. It's very powerful itself. Maya can create, Maya can destroy also. Srishti, Sisti, Palaya. Srishti means creation, Sisti means maintenance, Palaya means destruction. Srishti, Sisti, Palaya. Shadayeva Chayeva Vivati Durga. Durga, she's the superintendent of the material energy, and her energies are also maintaining and working according to the three modes of material nature. So everything is so nicely orchestrated in this material world. When you understand that, you know that there's a very exact system of arrangement and how everything is going on according to the nature of the Lord. And he has a default program also. If people, the materialists, they don't follow the laws of nature, they work outside of the Lord of nature by their desire to be independent. And therefore they create an anomaly within the arrangements of the material nature. But material nature also contains a system of correction within itself, and that correction causes the living entities to suffer in order to bring them back to proper behavior, even within the material nature. So material nature has three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But most of the living entities, particularly in the age of Kali, are under the influence of passion and ignorance. Very few, if any, are in the mode of goodness. And only in the mode of goodness can one understand and begin to understand the nature of the Lord and worship the Lord. In passion and ignorance, one cannot, because passion and ignorance are also characterized by ignorance, especially especially the lower mode of ignorance his character is, it's even called the mode of ignorance. Because people in that mode, they don't even know how to take care of themselves properly. They cause trouble for others. They are always greedy. They're always lusty. They're always full of all bad qualities. Mode of passion is a little better, but there may be some good qualities in there. But the good qualities are also based on selfishness to enjoy the material energy. So therefore, in these two modes, no one can understand God. Or even if they speculate about God, we see people, they write books about God, trying to understand, the scientists, the various philanthropists, or just some intellectual in general will try to understand God or write about God. He has no intervention into the nature of God because he's not qualified. Only those in the mode of goodness can make some attempt to enter into the understanding of the Lord. And only on the only when they go above goodness, when they're in pure goodness, Sudasattva, can they start to understand the Lord. So therefore, all of the books you see on the shelves about God today is all speculations. If they've copied something from the Vedas, then maybe they get some credit for doing something right. But ultimately, no one can understand or write about or speak about God. And you hear people today, they want to speak about God. They want to give some idea of what is God, who is God, how he acts. But the Lord is aloof from all of that, and all of their activities simply end in defeat anyway. So everything, if therefore the living entities have to align themselves with the will of God, the will of God is to understand the purpose of our existence in the material world. Our existence in the material world is an anomaly. We don't belong in the material world. We belong with Krishna in the spiritual world, which is actually our place of residence. We don't belong in this material world because we are contrary to that energy, and we cannot enjoy material energy because material energy is Krishna's energy. He can enjoy it, but we cannot because we are contrary to his nature, that nature. We can't enjoy things, but we can enjoy a relationship with other living beings and with Krishna himself, because we are spirit, and everything that's alive is also spirit, but it's covered by material. So that enjoyment in the material sense is always fraught with and covered with the inebrities that come by way of material energy, such as lust, greed, anger, illusion, pride, envy, fear, so many other qualities that are actually disqualities, not qualities, actually. So if the living entity aligns themselves with the will of God and works in that way, then they're in their proper position, and they can move gradually away from the influence of the material energy, which is always beating the material energy, beating the living entities down, 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 until finally death comes along and takes everything away that they work for. And then by working under the will of the material, spiritual energy, or Krishna's energy, Krishna's desire, one elevates themselves to higher and higher consciousness and traverses and transcends the three modes of material energy and comes to the pure spiritual platform, the platform where Krishna exists. Of course, that's Krishna exists on the fifth platform. We can go as high as the fourth platform. No, we can go as high as the fifth platform. Krishna's on the sixth platform. In other words, the first three platforms are the three modes of material nature. The fourth platform is the platform of spirit, of the subtle material energies, which is also in the modes of three also. But on the fourth platform is the platform of transcendence, But above transcendence is Krishna, who is the source of transcendence. But we can also attain to that platform when we become fully purified and fully engaged in loving devotional service to the Lord, which is the ultimate goal of life. Material life presents so many false goals, so the living entity can enchant themselves with the idea that they can find happiness here. But all they do is struggle, struggle, struggle. Everyone is struggling, struggling, struggling. They're fighting against the influence of the material energy, which is beating them down at every moment. They do things which are harmful to themselves and to others, and they don't do the right things, and they waste so much time and energy and resources in trying to find some kind of platform of peace and happiness in this world, but it's not possible because they're living contrary to Krishna's laws, which are the platforms of peace and happiness. So therefore, a devotee wants to know, what is my position with Krishna? And what is Krishna's position in relationship to me? How can I enter into that position? And how can I fulfill my desire for complete satisfaction and happiness in that position with Krishna? Or how can I engage in devotional service? Therefore, one approaches Krishna as representative, the spiritual master, who knows Krishna, at least to a small degree. No one can know Krishna perfectly, but he knows Krishna enough to teach others how they can also know Krishna and free themselves from this entanglement of material energy. Some people think, well, material life is not so bad. I have my dog, I have my cat, I have my kids, I have my wife, I have my children, my car, my job's all right. I got some friends. I also have time to do what I want. But how long will all that last? And how much struggle does it take to achieve such situations? And how rarely that is attained in this material world. And even if it is attained, the time factor is moving things away from its standard of so-called attainment. Therefore, whatever you attain in this material world practically is lost just as fast as you would attain it. That's the nature of material energy. It's called endlessly mutable. Mutable means changeable. Now it's changing, 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 and ultimately that change deteriorates what's there and brings about something different. This is the constant change of the material energy. What was once nice is no longer nice. What once was no longer nice appears to be better. So the living entity cannot find peace of mind in this material world because the material world is always changing, changing, changing. And the living entity is trying to artificially achieve something that is contrary to their nature, which is happiness in a world that is ephemeral at best and illusionary at worst. Okay, so stop trying to enjoy this material world and you can start to really enjoy in life. As soon as you stop trying to enjoy material life, you'll find life becomes better. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj, for very enlightening messages in this class. This material life, definitely we are wasting our life and we are just too much
Well,
busy in
yeah.
this. So thank you.
We
for
need
that.
a little bit more volume from your side.
Is this better, Guru Maharaj? Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realizations, request all of you to please, if possible, raise your hand by asking questions. As Maharaj always say, when we are participating in any class, if we are attentively listening, we will have certain questions or certain things to share, or we are like completely like understanding all the points, or otherwise third point everybody knows what does that mean. So request everybody, please. Yeah. And also request everybody, if you can switch on your video, that's a good way to interact with Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Vrindavan. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, you have told this to us many, many, many times, that how this living entity cannot enjoy the material energy, cannot exploit the resources of this energy, but yet, even after we come to the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, we find that devotees still, carry on with their what to say, activities that they were doing before they came to Krishna consciousness. That means when they conduct businesses, or they sell their products, or they offer something, there is cheating going on. They want to exploit you, or they want to take advantage, and they want to make a fast buck. These conditionings are there even after we come to devotional life. So how should we deal with devotees who are still carrying on with such propensities? How should we conduct ourselves?
Well, there's three levels of devotees. There's Kanista Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. You're describing a Kanista Adhikari. Kanista Adhikari is called a Prakrita Bhakta, or one who still has attraction for and enjoyment of the material energy, although they may be somewhat engaged in some activities in devotional service. They're neophytes. They take Krishna consciousness as one of the many activities in this world to find some enjoyment in also. But because they haven't developed proper knowledge, their faith in the process of devotional service is very preliminary, or very weak, you might say. Their tendency to exploit material energy still remains, and they carry it out in different ways also. Although they may chant, they may also visit the temple, they may also read the books, but they require further guidance, and they also require a better understanding of their relationship with the material energy. So they're called neophyte. So when one practices devotional service, these three levels are there. But in order for one to practice devotional service effectively without being influenced by the material energy, one has to come to the Madhyamam platform. Kanistas can't take care of themselves. Sometimes they fall down, they commit offenses, they make mistakes. They wrongly think themselves okay. This is the nature of a Kanista Adhikari. Madhyama Adhikari has four qualities. One is they worship the Supreme Lord in devotion. Two, they make friends with other devotees. Three, they preach to the non-devotees, try to raise them to the platform of devotees. And they very carefully avoid the atheist non-devotees, the demons, the atheists, those who are inimical towards spiritual life. So this particular platform, Madhyama Adhikari, is the platform by which one is meant to be situated on in order to make progress in devotional service. On the neophyte platform, it's just struggle and wrong understandings, that's all. They have a tendency to be a little bit proud of whatever they do, and they are not so good at understanding the instructions nor can they understand when they read the books, they may also misunderstand or reinterpret what they read. They think the spiritual master is everything. They think Krishna is everything, but they think the other devotees are simply bodharations. That's one of the characteristics of the neophyte. They see other devotees as simply clogs or, something that they should avoid. Sometimes they make friends with other people who are like them, and they enjoy their wrong conceptions of devotional service like that. They are, when it comes to performing austerities, they can't do it because they're attached to the material world and they don't want to give it up, although they may profess that they're devotees like that. So they're hypocritical, they're offensive, like that. So we give them some credit because they're doing something in devotional service. But to stay in the neophyte position means to go down, and ultimately, if they don't come to the second class platform, eventually they will leave Krishna consciousness. So we preach second class platform. This is the standard by which one can execute devotional service in such a way that they will make progress in all of the activities they perform. Remember those four characteristics. They are trying to love Krishna. They are making friends with other devotees. They are taking opportunities to help others who are not devotees become devotees. And they're very carefully avoiding the atheistic materialists.
So it's actually quite dangerous to continue to remain on the neophyte platform because we could very easily lose our spiritual life through offenses.
Yeah. It's not recommended to stay there. It's just a stage of transition.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
It is a nice verse if you want to read it. Third canto, 21st chapter, 31st verse. That verse gives you, it's a long purport, but it explains the importance of coming to the second class platform.
Canto 3, chapter 21, verse 31.
Correct.
Thank you.
I think you're, Vrindavanath, you're on mute now.
Sorry, Maharaj, my apology. Maharaj, there is one question on chat from Scarlett Mataji. He is asking, Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to you, Your Holiness. Can Krishna, the material energy like Maya and Durga, make mistake like prison guard?
No, because they're working under the guidance of the perfect personality, Krishna. They don't make mistakes. But they can do something that apparently looks like a mistake. I mean, for instance, you have Indra. Indra is the chief amongst the demigods. He's considered a king of heaven. But sometimes he gets himself into some situations due to his desire for sex life. Prabhupada says Indra is very lusty. And so he does things and causes problems. Or in trying to maintain the material arrangements, he has to manage all the demigods, he has to manage heaven. He also sometimes acts wrongly because many of the devas are sakama bhaktas. They're not nishkam bhaktas. They still have material desire. Their material desires are quite lofty in the sense is that they want to control. And so they achieve the position of demigods because they are great devotees, but at the same time, they still have that tendency to control. So in that tendency to control, sometimes they act outside of what is, just like Indra. He killed Vishwarup because Vishwarup did something that wasn't in line with what Indra wanted. And therefore, Twasta, his son, Vishwarup's son, arranged a yajna to kill Indra. But Indra was protected, and somehow or other, Indra killed the demon that Twasta arranged to kill Indra. But then, because Indra killed the demon, that demon was actually a Brahmin. That was Vitrasura. He had to suffer by entering the stem of a lotus flower and stay there for 1 year. And he was dying. He had hardly anything to eat. The fire god Agni was bringing him food just so he could survive. And during the time, so in the heavenly planets, which is still the material world, there are things that go on. So while Indra was there in the stem, another demigod took over the kingdom. His name was, forgot what his name was, starts with an N. And he started chasing after Indra's wife when Indra was gone. So there's a lot of that also goes on in the material world. But the demigods are very sexually inclined like that. But still, they're very powerful. And they also have big positions to maintain the material energy for Krishna as a service. So that happens, yeah. But when you say Durga, I don't think so, because Durga, she is working under the guidance of Lord Shiva, who is her husband, and he's working under the guidance of Lord Ram or Lord Vishnu. So I don't think Durga would be a person who say she'll make a mistake. But Indra makes mistakes. Chandra, the moon god, Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods. So a lot of these devas, they get involved with wrong activities. But we shouldn't criticize them or find fault with them. Because they are devotees. I mean, even Indra got angry at Krishna, not knowing he was Krishna, and then sent all torrents of rain into Vrindavan. But when Krishna thwarted it, Nanda Maharaj's sacrifice for Indra, so Indra became angry, and he didn't recognize Krishna as being the Supreme Lord, and he thought he was just some talkative cowherd boy. But he tried to kill the residents of Vrindavan. Krishna was really angry at him because he tried to harm the residents of Vrindavan. But Krishna finally forgave him after he performed so many austerities and penances. So you have these incidents where these great personalities, Brahma didn't recognize Krishna, and he stole his calves and cowherd boys. That's Lord Brahma. And then Krishna bewildered Brahma and showed him that you may be the chief amongst all of the demigods, but actually your power is completely insignificant. So, so sometimes in the heavenly realms, and when the demigods come they also do things that are a little bit outside of their nature or outside of their service. It's like once in a while, you'll see a great devotee of the Lord. He'll be serving so nicely, but every once in a while he wants to go watch a movie or something. So you can't fault him for that. But at the same time, we know it's not in line with his service. So don't find fault with the demigods, because you'll be committing offenses because you don't really understand them and their power and their position.
So Maharaj, can we consider also this as one of the 26 qualities for pure devotees mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and one of the quality is faultless. And Prabhupada mentioned that devotees or pure devotee of Krishna are faultless as they are worshipping the perfect, and faultless because they are worshipping also or trying to serve them in best of their capability and
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah, but the demigods are not, many of them are not pure devotees.
Yeah.
They're very powerful, elevated devotees, but they're not pure devotees. They're sakama bhaktas. They have material desire. That's why it says that many of the demigods who are really, really devoted, they realize that they can't make advancement beyond a certain point as a demigod. So they pray and arrange for themselves to take birth in Lord Chaitanya's movement to help with spreading of the Krishna conscious movement. So many of the children who are born in our movement are actually demigods, many of them, or great personalities who have come from different regions to join this movement.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Yeah, so
sorry. Ras Vilasni Radha Mataji, please go ahead.
Rasa.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to us, all glories to Maharaj. Maharaj, I was asking how does Krishna interfere in a devotee's life, and when does he do so? Like example, if a devotee is given a service that is going very well, but suddenly that service is passed on to someone else. So how can we understand whether this is due to material energy or Krishna's interventions?
Somehow, I think the connection is a little weak. I didn't get your final statement.
Maharaj, I was saying, for example, like
I understand. Yeah, they're passing on the service. Now, what did you say after that?
how can we understand whether this is due to material energy or a Krishna's intervention?
It's your choice. Don't bring Krishna into this. You want to pass the service on to someone. Krishna may inspire you to do that, or you may just decide to do it. But in either case, you can't try to connect Krishna with everything that you do, because you have your independence and you can choose what to do when you want to do it. To carry out the results of the activities, that comes through the material energy, or it comes directly through Krishna. So if you're going to make a decision to do something, pray to Krishna and see how he inspires you. And
Actually, Maharaj, I was asking because sometimes we think that it's Krishna's planning. Whatever is
the
happening in
idea
our
is you were trying to blame Krishna for our mistakes. That's not the program. You have your choice at every moment. You can be in this class or you could be doing something else. That's your choice. If you say, I got inspiration for Krishna, then fine. You can give him credit. But when things go wrong, don't think that it's Krishna made things go wrong. He's always making things go right. You're interfering with him, that's all. We're always trying to bring Krishna into, well, this happened. Was it Krishna's arrangement? Ultimately, from the highest platform, everything is coming through the energies of Krishna. But still, you have your independence. You can choose at any moment. And how you choose, if you choose by taking shelter of the spiritual energy, then you're choosing right. If you take shelter of the material energy, you might find yourself in difficulty. I'll give you an example. So devotees were buying a new place, and this was in the very beginning of the movement. And they were buying a new place in New York, and they were dealing with this one man who was he was the go-between between the realtor, between the owner and the devotees. He was the realtor. So Prabhupada didn't trust the guy. So Prabhupada left New York and said, don't give him any money until you sign the contract. So then Prabhupada left. And then what happened was this realtor, his name was Mr. Price, he said to the devotees, I really like you guys, and there's other buyers for the same property, and I want you guys to have the property. So give me $5,000 down, and I'll hold it for you, and I'll make sure you get the property. Now, Prabhupada told the devotees not to give him any money. And so devotees got swayed by Mr. Price's offer. They gave him $5,000. They called up Prabhupada and told Prabhupada what happened. Prabhupada was in Los Angeles. Prabhupada said, stop the payment on the check immediately. So they went to the bank and the check had already been cashed. They went to Mr. Price's office. His office was cleared out. He had left town. So he stole $5,000 from the devotees. So one of the devotees, a leading devotees, said to Prabhupada, that was Krishna's arrangement. Prabhupada said, no, it's your stupidity. I told you not to give him any money. So Krishna is telling us what to do every minute. And if we do something and it goes wrong, we can't say, well, Krishna wanted us to do it that way. It's just like or even if it goes right, doesn't matter. We say that Krishna wanted us to do it that way because it went right. No. He gives you your intelligence. The intelligence comes from the spiritual master, from the scriptures, from him himself. You have to learn to act in devotional service in the right way. How do you arrange your schedule every day? When do you chant? When do you read? What time do you get up? That's all your business. Krishna, the spiritual master, says, get up before 4 o'clock. Says, don't sleep beyond 4 o'clock. So if you don't follow that, and then you say, oh, I had a miserable day. So just take shelter of the instructions of the spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada is so kind and so merciful that he covered everything. Every question you could possibly think of in every category, he answered in his discussions with his devotees and his letters, and his books, and his on his classes. He covered everything. I mean, it was amazing what Prabhupada covered because he knew the Westerners. They always like to come up with something new, something different, and then present a problem based on that. Prabhupada covered that also. Covered everything. But we don't read Prabhupada. That's the problem. We don't listen to Prabhupada. That's the problem. We have no time to listen to Prabhupada. We give him a little time once in a while during the day. Maybe not even sometimes. But we have to hear from Prabhupada. That has to go on. If you do that, you'll always be in the best position to work according to what will bring you further along the path of devotional service. You'll know what to avoid. Prabhupada told us so many things to avoid. He told us everything. He told us even about the material energy. I mean, he spoke about mundane things that were connected with Indians' culture. For instance, if a woman parts her hair in the middle, she's married and she has the red dot. If she parts her hair on the side, that means she's a prostitute. If she parts her hair a little bit off the center of the middle, she's not a prostitute, but she's not married. I mean, Prabhupada talked about that. He talked about women. He talked about politics. He talked about economics. He talked about social activities. He talked about the history of India. He talked about everything. And he always connected it with Krishna. Just listen to Prabhupada. So much nectar, so much knowledge that we can get from Prabhupada. And if you have complete faith in Prabhupada, then all you have to do is align yourself with what Prabhupada teaches us. Just like he said, if you want to eat and you're not sure whether to eat, don't eat. So that's another mundane thing, right? But Prabhupada talked about these because it affects us. So he said, if you're not sure whether to eat or don't eat, don't eat. But he said in December, the month of December, you can eat. So where is he getting that from? This is common culture of Vedic practice, what people do because you'll see the Vedic culture, even in their mundane activities, has connection with their spiritual practice. But we're getting westernized. We're in this Western culture, Prabhupada said, Western dog dancing culture. And we go along with whatever they say as the absolute principle of how to live in this world. Therefore, we're always confused. Prabhupada wrote so many books, translated so much Shastra, spoke so many things. He was tireless. And just think of a subject matter and then research Prabhupada's statements, and you'll find something he said on that subject matter. Prabhupada. What more can you get in one place? Prabhupada, and Prabhupada's a self-realized soul. He's not speaking simply out of opinion. He's speaking out of realization, out of knowledge. So he gives us, but he's not going, Krishna or Prabhupada's not going to come into your room and hold your hand and tell you exactly what to write on the piece of paper. He gives you your independence. He lets you choose. Krishna told that to Arjuna. I have given you everything. Now you choose. Krishna doesn't say, I gave you everything. Now you have to do what I say. He didn't say that. He said, I've given you everything. Now it's up to you to choose what you want to do.
Yes, true, Maharaj. Actually, I am hearing Prabhupada lecture, Maharaj, and I'm still on the third verse. Like, there are so many lectures by Prabhupada on each verse. So that's true, Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful explanation, Maharaj.
If you choose one particular lecture and listen to it over and over again, you'll become fully self-realized. Just one lecture. Just listen to it over and over again. And each time you'll hear more and more knowledge.
Yes, Maharaj, I will follow this. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, there is one question on chat from Bhaktin Boni, Boni Mataji.
A little louder. Little louder.
There is one question on the chat from Boni Mataji. She's asking.
Not Boni, that's Bonnie.
Bani. Oh, sorry.
Don't say Bonnie because she's not bony at all. She's twice the size of you are. Her name is Bonnie, not Boney. You're
Sorry.
following in the footsteps of your neighbor down the street there. You know who I'm speaking about. It's Bonnie. If you go Bonnie, you're actually insulting her. So it's Bonnie. The word is bonita. And the actual word is bonita. That is an English, I don't know what name it is, but it's a girl's name. It's called Bonita. So they shorten the name and they say Bonnie. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like they do that in Vedic culture also. Sometimes you make the name short, but you don't change the name, you know.
So my apology, Bani Mataji.
Yeah, Bonnie.
Yeah, Bani. Yeah. So her question is, if demigods pray to join Lord Chaitanya movement and Guru Kulij could be this. If demigods pray to join Lord Chaitanya movement and Guru Kulij could be this, would not the great devotee of Srila Prabhupada also possibly have been demigods or other converts giving up their families, as they are also in Lord Chaitanya movement? So her question is that
Prabhupada said, all my devotees are great devotees. Anyone who takes the devotional service seriously is actually worshipable. So what's the question?
So her question, Maharaj, is like that probably the devotees who are in Srila Prabhupada movement, they are demigods.
Now your internet is.
Can devotee hear me?
You're not coming through.
Oh, sorry,
I can't hear you. It's breaking up. If you talk slower, maybe it'll work.
Sure, Maharaj, I will try. So her question is more that Prabhupada devotees are possibly demigods.
Possibly.
Demigods.
Not, could be. Doesn't mean everybody's a demigod. There could be some demigods in our movement, yeah. It's possible. But what is that? That has no relevance. Whether they are or not doesn't mean anything.
I was only mentioning it because you had mentioned the guru coolies might have been demigods. So I was asking in regard to that.
Well, Prabhupada said that ultimately many of the children that are born in our movement are actually coming from the higher planets. They pray that they want to take birth in Lord Chaitanya's movement because they know it's a quick way back to Godhead. So they want to assist Lord Chaitanya in his movement, and they also, yeah. So many of the children, that means the children that are children of the devotees in the movement, are actually coming from that realm. That's a statement by Srila Prabhupada. Just to show that living in the higher planets doesn't mean one is going to, achieve perfection, or it's a better arrangement. Taking birth in the Krishna conscious movement means connection with Lord Chaitanya's movement, the Sankirtan movement, which is the Yuga Dharma. So they see this as an opportunity to go back home, back to Godhead, by coming into the Krishna conscious movement.
Maharaj, is that because it's a better birth than the planets they were on?
Yeah. The planets they're on, in the sense, from the material perspective, is a better birth. But from the spiritual perspective, there's too much material opulence there, and therefore becomes hard to practice, what we say, fully, completely. Too much material enjoyment on the higher planets.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Sridevi Mataji, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, please. Guru Maharaj, this question was posed to me by a young parent. He said that in the school in Vrindavan, he named the school Bhaktivedanta National School something. He says the emphasis is now so much on getting good grades, good marks, high marks. Those who get good marks, they are, given some incentives, and then their names are put up, and then they get entrance into IIT, IIM, doctor, engineer, etc. And the school is advertising, our children are doing so well, they're getting admission into all these premium institutes, bring your children here, and so on. And I had just talked about Krishna's way, natural living. I talked about Varnashram system. I talked about how we need Varnashram college where children are to be trained in all the different Varnas and so on. So I said, Prabhupada has come to create a spiritual revolution. He wants organized human society to be organized on these lines for the betterment of everyone. So this emphasis on getting high marks and getting into IIT, IIM, or whatever those institutes are, how is that a reflection of Prabhupada's teachings if the school is doing that?
Well, you're talking about, there's two schools, there's three schools in Mayapur. There's the Bhaktivedanta National School, there's the International School, and there's the Gurukul. There's three schools. So which one are you talking about? Bhaktivedanta National School?
No, this young father was talking about the school in Vrindavan.
Oh. I don't know anything about that school. I can't say.
I don't either. So I just said what I know, that Prabhupada wants Varnashram college. to train the children nicely?
I don't know what you'd have to go and investigate personally. I would refrain from making any judgment unless you actually know the situation.
Hmm.
People a lot of times give you their own opinion of something, which is just their opinion.
Okay.
He may be right, he may be half right, or he may be wrong.
Yeah,
So,
I did say I don't know anything about this place. All I know is what Prabhupada said, that he would like Varnashram College to train the children nicely so that they can blossom and grow in Krishna consciousness.
well, that's not Vanashram College. That's just like in Mayapur, we got a Bhaktivedanta National School, which I also gave a lecture there. There's the International School. That means kids all over. The national school takes kids from all over India. The international school takes children who are, children of the parents who are devotees, who come from different countries, who generally live in Mayapur. And then you have the Gurukul, which is also, now it's a day school. It's not a ashram school anymore. So yeah, investigate before you conclude about what is going on in these schools, before go to the school, ask questions, get an idea. But Prabhupada wanted Varnashram College, not for the young kids. These are for people who are grown up, who are engaged in devotional service. These gurukuls and these children's schools are meant to educate kids in spiritual subject matters and train them in the proper behavior. That's all.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Mhm. Okay.
So Maharaj, there is no other question. Although there is one question from Scarlett Mataji on the chat, but I'm not very clear what exactly that means. I've asked her, but she's not.
It's getting a little late anyway. We can, what is the time now?
It's already 18 minutes over the hour.
Yeah. Yeah, my schedule's a little different now since I came to Radha Gopinath. So I think we should end here and then we
Sure,
can
Maharaj.
continue tomorrow.
Sure. So thank you
I
very much, Maharaj. Sorry.
devotee read the next verse, get an idea of what the verse is before tomorrow's class. And then you can also formulate some of your questions prior to the class, like that.
Sure, Maharaj. So thank you very much, Maharaj, for all your nice nectars and the very instructive points. Also, thanks devotees for joining this class, for spending your time. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you want to do a japa session, you can, but I won't be able to stay. But if you can if you want to do a japa session.
Sure, Maharaj.
Actually, I can stay for about 15 minutes if we can. You want to do a japa session?
Sure, Maharaj.
I can only stay for 15 minutes. That's my limit. Okay. Let me get my beats and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody get in a straight back position, either folded legs or sitting in chair. Keep your back straight, keep your head up, keep your beads above your waist. And begin by taking shelter of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, who makes his mercy available through the holy name. Jai Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, 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 Hari 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari Ram Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hari Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hari Krishna Hari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hari Hari Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hari Hari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare no speech yeah. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Naboni Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna. Your name is Bonita. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna